RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, the shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpion, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do's, LB? Lauderdale Boss, aka Shuttleworth the God, the GOAT artist, RingGangRadio.com in the building.
Yes, sir. Ring Gang in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what's good? You already know who this is. Your boy King People. They got boxing in the building. Ring Gang Radio forever. We the hardest. The rest of you niggas is as soft as Campbell's soup. We smoke that Luke Campbell pack.
Hey, bro, they can be straight from the sewer. You
Smoking on that Campbell pack right now.
You know what I'm saying? Clearly, he has time for niggas today. You know, tell him why you mad, son. You know, I like that. You know, that's how it goes. You know, that's what he did. He takes a little break from fighting crime and whatnot. You know, just to kick the rail for y'all. Word up. So yeah, Happy New Year's to everyone. It's our first show for 2021. And surprisingly, we actually had a boxing card. Usually the top of beginning of the year is usually like dry. It's like dry, like toast with no butter and shit. So it was just like, we actually had not only a card, but an actual interesting fight to watch. Of course, what I'm talking about is Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell, live on DAZN. But before we get into that particular fight, though, I want to shed some light on the undercard. Some stuff in the undercard. Number one, Ryan Garcia's little brother, Sean Garcia. I'm sorry, but I don't know if you guys actually saw highlights of his fights or watched this fight. But,
I did. Unfortunately, he's the Marcelo Wilder of the Garcia family.
Facts.
Damn.
Facts.
I ain't get to see it, but if it sounds that bad, I didn't miss it.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
Honestly, anyway, I was wondering how he was actually undefeated because I think his record is like 6-0 with like 2 knockouts and shit like that. But the way he was fighting, it was clear that that he wasn't where he needed to be on TV like that. Like
Boxing not for you, dog. Like
yeah,
he was terrible. He shouldn't be in the ring.
Yeah, like the cat that he was facing was like 5-5 though. He was your typical Mexican journeyman, and that journeyman. Had the German punched straighter, he would have given this dude all hell. Like he probably would have won the fight. Just if he punched a little straighter, but he was kind of flailing with his punches. But even then, he was still able to win some rounds. Sean Garcia escaped with like a majority decision win. And I'm just like, for a guy that's 5'5" like this, like, and I think the reason why is because this is his brother's on there, so he tried to impress. He tried to knock the jobber out, and he couldn't do that. And he got tired, and he didn't have a plan B really. Yeah, so he was just trying everything. So yeah, no, and it was bad too because I was reading a tweet from Regis Prograis, and he was like, "Nah, it's like this dude. It's like boxing. He's like boxing's not for you." Like when you have a pro saying that shit, Sean Garcia, like if you want to put him on TV again, you better make sure he goes. You got to keep him off TV for a little bit. Like he needs to be in the dark matches, like either a swing bout or a dark match. It's just not on television, not for a while. If you want this dude to improve, else like I said, P said, he might get the Marcellus Wilder treatment from a jobber. You know what I'm saying? So
damn.
No, and we're not even bullshitting. Like he was really bad.
I'll take your word for it. Shit.
Yeah, and then then there was another prospect fight.
Especially before the flaws his brother made. I mean, you got to pull my leg to convince me.
Yeah, I was watching this like, it's like I am not impressed with this guy like whatsoever. Like this guy is, this guy isn't it. And then Golden Boys, had their middleweight prospect Raw Curio, score a pretty brutal stoppage over, a last minute replacement, and that was nondescript. Then undercard got super good. And one thing I want to say before I go into those is them Alvarado brothers, Felix and Rene Alvarado, those dudes can fight. You know what I'm saying? Like Golden Boy needs to keep both of them, make sure to keep on them. Them dudes had that undercard lit.
Yeah.
The first one was Felix Alvarado. He was defending his light flyweight title, against DJ Creole, a South African who was champion at what was it? What's this? I always forget the division.
Flyweight? I mean, strawweight.
Yeah, it's like strawweight or minimum weight. No, it's minimum weight.
Minimum weight.
Yeah, and then but then like what like me and LB, like we preach, like them little dudes to be scared, like just because they like 107, 105, 108 pounds or whatever, man, doesn't mean they can't fight. They can, like them. Felix Alvarado and DJ Creole went to, they were throwing hands, like there was some straight face being handed out, and Felix Alvarado for being 108 pounds though, that dude had firepower, like serious firepower, like them punches was heavy as fuck.
He was walking through shots, but like too much, because I felt like he got hit too much.
Yeah.
Face got marked up, and a lot of the punches he was getting hit with, Creole isn't a fast guy like that.
No, and so like Creole was like, the one thing he kept like going to the ropes, and I was like, you can't let a heavy-handed puncher like that go get to the ropes. And then what was worse too is he was slugging it out with this dude instead of boxing, like he probably needed to do.
And he's slugging it out with slower hands.
I'm saying, like,
I didn't get it, and it's like,
yeah, that was a recipe for disaster.
And squaring up, like he was making all these mistakes, and I'm like, anytime he turned his body and gave an angle, he was able to turn Alvarado and outbox him.
Yeah, the way that he was approaching it, the way that Creole was approaching it, you would have thought he had Mike Alvarado power.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, he tried to slow him down with body punches, but Alvarado was just walking right through them shits. Like there was just like there was like no problem, and like he dropped him like in the second and fourth round, and they were heavy knockdowns at that too.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was like, and I'm thinking to myself, how and Creole was getting up. I was like, how is he getting up from these shots? Like, I mean, them shits look like they really hurt.
Yeah, he was tough. Creole's the real deal. Like, he had that Holyfield toughness, but
yeah,
it was you don't need to prove that type of toughness. Look, there's no point in trying to do this whole Mickey Ward, Winky Wright defense and try to absorb everything from your opponent and giving them a complete target to whack at. The power distribution has nowhere to go, so you're absorbing it. And that shit wears you down, especially when you're moving up in weight to fight a bigger, stronger, heavier, younger guy.
Yeah, and Creole, Creole was turned, was bobbleheaded in the last couple of rounds. Like, Alvarado, I was thinking to myself, because I was texting LB, I was like, how many of these phases is this dude gonna take? Dude started getting bobbleheaded from these shots. I was like, man,
he was low-key taking a beating in them last rounds.
And his corner wasn't shit. What's his name? Derek Harmon. From Roy Jones' stream was his trainer. And he was over there telling him, "Show me some life." And I'm like, yo, this dude is done. Like, pull him out.
That's it. Like, he was telling them the right shit throughout the fight, but it got to a point where it's like it was too little, too late, because he already absorbed too much punishment. Like,
right, yeah.
You can't take that type of punishment, and he wasn't even giving enough back. Like, he was landing clean, but he couldn't sustain it because for some reason, I guess his footwork wasn't good enough where he could turn fast enough.
Yeah, no.
And pivot. So the guy will always end up being in front of him, and he'll just get wailed on. He'll try to cover up, but that covering up shit don't work if you're not deflecting with your elbows and turning and spinning and parrying shots.
It was bad too. I mean, finally, like, the ref finally had to stop because the corner kind of failed. I'm like, if Duke collapsed in the ring, like, it would be on the trainer for not pulling him out, talking about show me some life. It's like, no, like, dude was out there like half dead. But you want him to continue punching me. But Creole though, like, Creole earned my respect. I was like,
Creole kept landing. That's why, like, they kept having hope, because damn Alvarado wasn't moving his head. He was getting hit by the slowest of fucking punches.
Yeah, because Alvarado's face had trademarks too. Like, his face was all marked up, so it wasn't like he walked through them shits. But his face bore some punishment. So that was the thing. So it was just like, Alvarado. God, but yeah, that was. That had like the crowd like pretty much all warmed up. Like I appreciated that shit. You know, it was just like, you know, if Creel gave a little bit more back and at least hurt him, or at least was able to drop him too, that probably could have been a first fight of the year candidate. But it was just a really good brawl, and you know, that just got a little at the end.
It was a good fight until it wasn't a good fight.
Yeah. Then it got a little brutal at the end, you know. But yeah, Creel earned my respect. I was like, that's a tough guy, you know, to take all that punishment. And hopefully he didn't get ruined from that punishment either. You know,
yeah, that toughness got him an ass whooping though.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
He said he didn't want to make $25,000 defending his title.
Yeah,
he moved up.
He did, you know, and you know sometimes you know that's you know that's the business of boxing. Sometimes, man. Sometimes the money is there at the higher division, but it may come at a price. You know.
Yeah, and you know if you moving up in weight, fighting better, you know, bigger guys, your defense has to be on point, man, because it's life or death already. But now the odds are against you.
Yeah, and I know people are gonna say, "Well, what's the difference between 105 and 108?" You don't know how much weight these fighters are cutting to make those weights. That's the problem. Like, you know, like if you like, I mean, like Alvarado for all intents can make 108, but he may walk around a lot heavier than that. You know, and probably much heavier. His walk around might be a lot heavier.
The difference was in the punches.
Yeah, like his punches clearly is not a guy that starves him. I mean, he drops the weight, but it's clearly he probably walks around at probably like 150 or some shit like that. The way he was punching. So like,
he was punching like he easily could spar Tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Facts. You know, what I'm saying, like, dude, they do have some serious firepower, man. You know, I mean, I was very impressed. And low key, you know, that 108 might actually be, you know, if certain network or you know focusing on that, you may actually see some more fades like that because they got some killers in that division. Doesn't matter how small they are. You know, like, you know, that division might be something to look out for. And then, you know, we had the co-main. We had Rene Alvarado, who is the real WBA super featherweight champion, by the way. But I won't get to specifics on that. You know, and then, you know, he faced Roger Gutierrez. This fight itself, I mean, there was punishment handed out. There was some punishment. There was, you know, but it had a weird ebb and flow. Like 1 minute, these two would be swinging, especially in the second round where Gutierrez nearly scored a knockout there, but he gassed. You know, unfortunately, you know, it was like one of those places that he, you know, because number one, because you know, me and Abby were talking about like dudes, you know, wasn't a good finisher, and then of course he wasn't a good infighter either, and all those things like kind of gassed him out, you know, and then after that the fight kind of took like this weird, you know,
dull ass lull.
Yeah, where Alvarado was landing pretty.
It was a lull like that.
Yeah, when Alvarado wasn't landing, Gutierrez would land and then he would clinch. Yeah, so it was, and he was doing this so much, the referee didn't even warn him, like not even once, you know.
Yeah, he definitely should have, at the very least, warned him because that shit was getting aggravated.
But the thing too is like Gutierrez seemed like he couldn't. It took him a hot minute to find a second win, and I don't think he really truly found one. So that's why it's like, I mean, like it's like usually it's like, damn, like he was really that tired. But like the punches he did land on Alvarado were hurting him. You know, that's the problem. And then Alvarado was also landing. Like Alvarado opened up a cut over his eye. Like Gutierrez was kind of bleeding. And then and I remember saying like, I think I told LB too, it's like, yo, like this dude needs another knockdown to separate himself. Else he's not gonna win this fight. And then 12 round, you know, this is probably, you know, this was like ordained. Like dude threw a hooker cut. Swift uppercut that drop dude like for it was a flash, but it was a hard punch because you can see dude kind of, you know, he kind of went. Yeah, it was sneaky. Like dude didn't expect that shit. Like he kind of, you know, he might have went to sleep for a second and then then he got up immediately. But that knockdown though, you know, unfortunately, you know, cost Alvarado his belt. You know, when all judges scored that shit 113-112, so he won that shit by the skin of his teeth, you know, and it was nice though, you know. But you know, Gutierrez obviously dedicated his fight to his late mom who died from cancer. So you know, it was a good feel good moment, you know. And but Gutierrez though, yeah, you know, Gutierrez, if he wants to hold on to that belt, you know, he might want to, you know, try to get a conditioning coach and someone to work with his punching. And he can punch. There's no question about that. Like, dude has power.
Yeah, you see some raw power, some raw talent.
Yeah,
it just needs to get molded correctly.
Exactly, and he could actually be a problem. But kudos for him to actually getting his moment in the sun, getting his shine, and getting his title. So that was good. That kind of made up for the lulls. And then of course the main event, Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell. And one thing I'll say about Ryan Garcia, like that dude, for better or for worse, he's a star in boxing. Like, we've always talked about fighters being, they should be able at least to market themselves, at least, and Ryan Garcia kind of embodies this type of the new generation.
Yep, the TikTok crowd, the YouTube crowd, which is what they were saying. Yeah, Mannix was mentioning it, but I did a little side eye to Mannix when he tried to say, well, just like Floyd with the urban population. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's one thing that hasn't changed. The zone commentary is still trash.
Yeah, between that and Mora, talking that cute shit, I was like, why does every talk about Oscar in some sort of fashion end up with this dude start talking cute? This dude that was like handsome. This was like, what is wrong with this dude?
Yeah, like I don't know what is it, man. Like there's some type of vibe. Like the whole show and the other chick with the damn
Oh yeah,
good spur.
Yeah, Kate
Abdo.
Yeah, telling
I was like, oh man, like
I was like, whoa.
What happens when you start just putting them? Never said no stupid shit like that on PBC, Fox, Showtime, whatever.
I mean, at PBC at best, they have Lennox, mispronouncing words and saying shit like that. But no, then the all them cats decided to go like full retard.
Oh, you brought her over there, boom.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
she regressed.
Yeah, it's like, oh yes, you have sperm. Just like, wow. It's like this.
Even you could tell the father was thrown off guard with that shit. Just laugh it off, like the fuck.
It's like, how do you? It's like no one like checks. Is like, oh, like these people need to be Giselle really needs to do something about this commentary team. Like they need a shake up. Like the last time they shook up something, they got rid of Sugar Ray, and and then after that, it just seemed like nothing really changed in the quality. So it's just like
I don't know, why don't they just bring Ricky Hatton into the studio with them?
Well, probably because of the travel thing, because the UK and he's in the
yeah, that whole they're shut down in the UK, so.
Yeah, but it's like they splitting up shit. Like send Mannix and them over there.
Can we trade them over there? They're not coming back for a while.
They're cool.
Yeah,
what's the problem?
Yeah, like pretty much
that's not a problem.
Yeah, like the decent commentary came from Gareth Davies and Ricky Hatton. Like the decent one, they were the ones that actually seemingly were taking their job seriously. But yeah. Like, the US commentary is like, nah, like they were just on some bullshit, and it was tiring. Like I was tired of hearing some of the shit they were talking about. Like sometimes they weren't even calling the fight. We complained about that shit too. It's just like, call the damn fight. Stop with the jokes, the inside jokes, and the stupid banner. Like I don't know. The commentary needs a huge shakeup. They need, and like there are plenty of boxers out there, I'm sure, that would love an opportunity to commentate on the fight. So the zone, find them, call them, experiment. Like HBO used to do that shit. You can do that shit too. You have the freedom.
We'll throw some names out there. Let me get Kevin Kelly, Mark Too Sharp, who else? Gabe Rosado.
Yeah, in fact, too, Gabe Rosado was actually pretty good. Like surprisingly.
Yeah.
And I was expecting.
He was.
Yeah, so yeah, like you guys have, you have some people that fight on your, the network or whatever. So yeah, use them. Saying like, oh, we have a comment, from Rusty Taylor. The Brits were fine, I agree. I don't know, Brian, Kenny, and Mora are fine in my opinion. Mannix doesn't work.
Yeah, it is Mannix. Mannix has always been the one that just fucks it up. Like Brian Kenny is cool when he's with other people. Morris cool when he's by himself or he's with competent people.
Grisham is terrible all around.
Yeah,
Grisham is terrible. Yeah. Him and Mannix, like they're the bad apples that just spoil the whole fucking bunch.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, you can have some good shit going around, but then these cops were talking about, hey, Mora, you know, remember the time you couldn't stop this dude and that dude knocked you out? You know, that type of bullshit. Nigga. It's just like,
when you got knocked out by Jacobs, that's my ringtone.
or Grisham. Oh well, this fighter reminds me of Hector Macho Camacho. No, not really. Oh, but I was watching the Macho last night. Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, they got the same haircut.
Yeah, it's just like stupid. You know, it's just a whole lot of
like,
stupid
dude,
shit.
shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah, just call it a goddamn fight, man. Stop being stupid. You know? No one cares what you fucking watched the other night.
like, say that shit for TMZ, dude.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Say that shit for your Twitter. You know, maybe some people before you will give a shit. You know, but Garcia says Paulie's definitely the best available. Well, Paulie's kind of in timeout right now. You know,
he timed himself out.
Keep his ass in timeout for a while.
Yeah, you know, because Paulie has some.
And then just think, Paulie's decent. He had his shot. There's still a lot of available talent out there. Like, somebody bring back Tarver. Like,
Tarver.
Isn't Tarver in the Impact Zone or some shit like that?
Yeah, he's on Impact Network, that place where they do like the church promotion. You know, with what's his name, Austin Trout. He's on there now.
They call fights down there now.
Yeah, man, that's one thing about the 2020s, man. Like, boxing is on more platforms and channels than
I don't even think I've seen an Impact production.
It's straight. It's actually straight. You know, I think I watched one. I wasn't blown away by it was straight, but it's just like, it's very obscure. You have to go out of your way to find it if it's not on your cable system.
Damn.
You know, yeah, Rusty said, I know Tarver needs the money. Well, we will not comment on Tarver's finances. You know, Tarver is a friend of Ring Game. You know, Tarver is a legend, and that's LB. That's Florida right there. So,
shout out to Tarver because he got that new gym popping up. That he's promoting, that he started. So that's a good look. I think we all could use the money. But Tarver was a good suggestion, but. There's other boxers, put like we said, give Rosado in a bigger position. Even Jacob speaks good.
Just the way you said that, nigga. Just
no, I mean,
I know, but yeah.
Because that name, I can't think of no other people, off the top of my head. I said Too Sharp and Kevin Kelly.
Yeah. Yeah, because they definitely did a good job,
Yeah, but other than that, but back to the fight, we saw Ryan Garcia finally step it up
against Luke Campbell, and we almost, and like honestly, we damn near almost had an upset.
You guys were wrong.
Yeah, like I was thinking about it. I remember I immediately texted LB like as soon as Campbell dropped his ass. I was like, there we go.
Both y'all did.
Yeah,
I texted him just at the same time. Like, well.
Yeah. Yeah, and the funny thing is, and people like to say that was a flash out. Like, no, like Campbell really dropped his ass
with the most fucking telegraphic fucking left hook I've seen in a while. Like,
he was aiming for the guy, selling the peanuts and beer.
Yeah, I mean, it's very rare to see a southpaw left hook like that land, and especially land like that. But Garcia did go to sleep for a little bit.
Hold on, but I remember BJ Flores said a left hook, a hook from the backhand isn't a real punch.
BJ Flores, honestly, BJ Flores is a whole bum. I'm tired of that dude. Like,
So hold on. So when I see an Olympian throw it and land it and knock down one of the future superstars of the sport, I'm inclined to say it's a real punch.
Yeah, honestly, BJ Flores, I mean, he's actually lucky that dude comment. He could actually make some. He could actually make a living commentating because fighting was not for him. Straight up, what I'm saying? PJ.
So I just wanted just put that out there. If the punch lands, it works. It's a proper fucking punch.
Yeah, it is, and it was that, and it clearly had Garcia it put him to sleep for a couple seconds, like the impact hitting the ground. But to his credit, though, he got his ass back up, and was like, okay, I got dropped, and then you could hear a gasp, you're like. When that dude went down.
You seen the look on his face. His eyes were looking so worried and shook, like he was like, okay, this really happened, like what's going on, let me, like, you could literally see him trying to put himself together, and for the life of me, Luke Campbell dropped the motherfucking ball.
Yep, didn't just
If I because I know Ryan was probably thinking like, oh my god, fuck, these teams are gonna meme me to death on my IG and everything like that. No.
How can I switch this to be positive and inspirational? You have to win, my child, and win I shall. Yeah. So he went into whole anime mode, and he got the win. The end. But now we gotta talk about that knockdown.
that knockdown was sick. Because the question too is like, the action was kind of slow because I guess they were trying to fill each other out, though. I mean, obviously southpaw and righty and shit like that. Shit happens though, and Campbell had that jab going early, and that kind of had Garcia a little bit on the defensive. Although Garcia was trying to throw, like I was trying to say, like dude needs to throw them right hands, like throwing them like now. He's like,
that jab to kind of stifle Campbell movement. He's like Campbell. I mean, Ryan. He was just following dude and not doing anything. Like that's how he got caught.
Exactly, because he had his chin. He was too upright. His chin was in the air. And then Campbell lulled him to sleep, and that's how he landed that punch. It was like boom.
His chin always in the air though.
Yeah, but this time he paid for it though.
Paid for it. That shit was gift wrap.
Mm-hmm.
That had secret sauce on it.
Yeah, but what you guys were saying before,
didn't help that fucking Ryan was off balance. Like somebody, because people were pointing it out too. Like we already know his footwork isn't that good, but like his foot positioning was all terrible. Like his foot was on the outside of Luke's foot, which basically is supposed to be on the inside, but that basically puts in poor foot positioning, and he's off balance.
Yeah, the footwork is a problem. Honestly, I didn't notice his footwork all that much, probably because he didn't fight all that many rounds. So it's probably one of those things that actually.
Because you didn't see it since 2018. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was just like,
you had a whole year to forget about it, and you had the social media hype promoting his fights and everything, and his superstardom never fucking waned, and that's what we mean about guys who are true stars in the sport. Because guys like Garcia, Ryan Garcia, and Broner, they could go a whole year without fighting, and you'll still know they exist.
Mm-hmm.
Where fucking Zerdo's damn Where's Waldo.
Yeah. Although he has fought recently, just off TV.
Where's Waldo? Fucking Sean Garcia's getting TV spots. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. It is, but like I said, he keeps himself in the spotlight. But he might want to. But stuff like that, the bad footwork and stuff like that, like
should have been fixed.
Should have been fixed. Yeah, like but, I mean, obviously the first round knockouts, they're spectacular and everyone loved.
He fought in December. He had a whole 2 years. No, but wait, January. Yeah, he literally had 2 years to fix that shit.
Yeah, no, and and now we're getting to the point, where obviously he's getting high quality opponents because Luke. One thing about Luke though, Luke fucked up by taking his foot off the gas. Like, Ryan needed that whole round to really recover from that shit. But what Luke was doing, like he was outboxing the dude. Like there was a lot of things because Luke was running Ryan into a lot of punches, like repeatedly, like in between the flurries, Ryan would come in, boom, he was getting clipped with stupid shit. You
But
know,
the thing is, he wasn't. He needed to double up and get up more aggressive when he was doing it, because the thing is, he never once the next round came and Garcia was able to compose himself, I already knew Garcia was thinking, get back.
Yeah, he was.
His mind was already back into the fight, and Luke Campbell never made him question himself again. It's like Ryan Garcia was like, you know what, I could get outboxed, fuck it, but I'm gonna knock him out though. Like he turned into Jamel Charlo, basically.
Yeah, like, you know,
get outboxed until he lands a knockout.
All right, we have two more coming.
Ryan Garcia.
And BJ, how do you call off the ring Flores? BJ Flores, man. Like, honestly, it's a miracle dude actually has a winning record as a pro. He certainly doesn't have the opponents. the record. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, BJ Flores is a whole bum, fucking, so but it's just like, Ryan was running himself into a lot of stupid shit, even though he was fighting harder. Like, and you can't take it away from him. He was fighting hard, like he didn't go into the shell, whatever. But I was thinking to myself, it's either he's gonna land first or Campbell's. I was just waiting to see either he was gonna land or Luke was gonna land some silly shit and drop him again. I was waiting for one or the other.
Yeah, you was gonna wait forever. That was never coming. Just like I said, Luke Campbell will find a way to fuck it up, and he did. Did I not say that last time?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, like
did I not say this man he'll get you to the edge of the cliff, but he don't, like, for whatever reason, he doesn't have the balls to go for it and push you off.
Yeah, and then
fight you tooth and nail, and then give it up.
And then in the fifth round, he absorbs a hook to his temple that has him start dancing and shit near the ropes. And he was lucky the round ended, because Ryan would have ended that shit right there and then.
Because Ryan was already thinking, get back, knockout. Like, his mind was made up. So if somebody's mind is made up to knock you out, well, you can't think about outboxing them anymore.
Yeah.
You got to think about hurting them. And Luke Campbell his mind couldn't transition into hurting Ryan Garcia.
Not at all.
You fight guys like that. Like, he's questioning himself. He's like, well, I don't know. You seen the look on his face, man.
Yeah,
that was the moment to go for it.
Yeah, and then and like I said, he was still hitting Ryan with some stupid shit, but Ryan's mind his mental got strong in the fight because
he willed himself. He won that fight off of talent and damn will.
Yeah, the knockout itself was very Canelo-esque too. Like, dude fainted up and then dropped the hook to the liver. Like, that shit was. I had to say that shit was pretty too.
Yeah.
Like I mean, dude. And honestly, I thought Luke was actually gonna stand. He was gonna take that shit. But dude, he stepped back and he went down in both knees, and I was just like, oh yeah, he's done. It was like, yeah, he's not getting up. I was like, oh, that's a shame. Dude took a absolute fight-ending hook to the liver, man, and of course, everyone went crazy, and of course, people had jokes for Ryan Garcia's celebration because he kind of jumped into his trainer's arms and kind of.
Oh, yo, that shit was suspect as fuck. Man.
Yeah, I'm saying that
was over the top.
Yo, mad boxers and funny shit was mad boxers were saying that shit. I think Crawford said some shit. Tank said some shit. Tank definitely said some shit. Tank had a lot to say, about that. I was just like, whoa, what kind of celebration is that? Like, that young boy needs to slow down. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get on the turnbuckles and acknowledge the crowd and shit. Nigga, damn. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, but good for him. Like, Ryan, he willed himself to win, and he got the win, and you can't take it away from him. It was clean. It was
King P fell off.
Yeah, I know, son. I'm waiting for him.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it was a spectacular knockout, and that's what everyone wanted to see. Because honestly, because I don't think Oscar could take Ryan Garcia, losing to Luke Campbell.
The plug could have took it.
Yeah, the plug took it.
The plug would have. He would have blessed Oscar with some feel better powder.
Yeah, and be like, hey, this is me, GB. Hey, do you have some of that stuff? I'm starting to recognize things. I'm starting to.
You know that stuff you gave me when Canelo became a free agent.
Yeah,
some of that stuff.
Yeah, the stuff that I took when Schaefer took my fighters away. Yeah, I need that. I need all that.
I need that pack.
Yeah.
But look, let's talk about how I called it by Ryan Garcia knockout in the 9th round, and it was a 7th round instead.
Too bad he didn't prop. See, I was hoping that I was hoping for a Luke second win. I was like, he can clip him again. I was like, let's go this late in the fight.
That would have happened if Ryan Garcia would have moved away from Luke Campbell. If he would have said, you know what, let me try to survive and turn into Miguel Vasquez.
Yeah,
but he went to the problem and he did it calculated. I just wish he would have upped his work rate. And I felt like he could have broke down Campbell all the same behind a hard jab, and he was landing the straight right, but he was too busy looking for the hook, so the hook was just coming sporadically. But all in all,
the hook never landed, but everything else.
It landed when it was supposed to.
Yeah, except for the McRib shot.
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to.
The McRib shot.
The McRib shot.
I saw that video. Silly ass video. We got a comment. Dillian White, Derek Chisora, Kell Brook, Callum Smith, Luke Campbell took out. It's been a rough couple months for British boxing. Yeah.
As my comrade LB says, the British school of boxing is under reconstruction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like pretty much so far right now, they have Joshua and Joe Joyce right now.
Yeah. Joe Joyce is like holding y'all up.
Yeah.
Like he's playing Samson right now. He's Atlas right now with y'all. Like Anthony Young.
Yeah, Anthony Yard too, man. Joshua, you didn't mention Anthony Yard, bruh. Anthony Yard.
Thank goodness y'all got Anthony Joshua and Joe Joyce.
Yeah, and Joe Joyce is looked at as if y'all had a British school of boxing, Joe Joyce is looked at as a fucking substitute teacher. Like, and he's getting upgraded.
Who respect?
Yeah, how to win a fight with a jab and break your opponent's face. From that dude got the I Corte award for that shit.
Yeah, he did, and the slowest boxer award too. But
yeah,
but if that wasn't the most slowest but effective performance I've seen ever.
Yeah, like you can't argue with the results either. Like it was slow.
Nah, you can't. It makes Dubois look bad for not learning how to slip.
You know what I'm saying though. Yeah, it's just fucking.
Dude, honestly, I felt like he was getting hit with mock boxing practice jabs, shit that you supposed to just okay, I slip, I go left, go right. Like you ain't supposed to be getting caught with those all day, but
hell no.
Whatever the case, Luke Campbell is the most recent victim of the school of Mexico boxing.
Yeah,
they had a good foreign exchange student that opened up a class. His name is Ryan Garcia. Shout outs to Keith Soprano, Tunnel Gang in the building. That was our guest from last week. He did say Ryan Garcia was going to shock the world. He picked him by decision, but he did say Ryan Garcia was going to shock the world. And I feel like that was the boldest statement out of the whole show, because that's indeed what happened.
Yeah, but he should have doubled down and just said, shock the world by knockout. You're not shocking the world by a decision.
Yeah, but if it would have went to the scorecards, we would have said it was a good fight.
yeah, pretty much.
And then, hey, hold on, wait. You got the fight wrong, man. Shut your ass up.
Yeah. Half of us got it wrong.
You know, but yeah, no, that fight, it was interesting, you know, and then the post-fight stuff, you know, obviously Garcia.
Oh my goodness, that was hilarious.
Like first of all, Bro's interviews were cheesy. Like he do sound like a boxing version of Richard Simmons. Like, hi, who do you want me to face next? You know, it's like fuck out of here. Just you know, it's like yo, stop being so extra. Because you knew he was about to have all types of videos and engagement on social media. But I was just like, yo, and then the fucked up thing though was like, you know, who should I face? And you hear the crowd.
Yeah, he sounded so zesty, like.
Like honestly, if he did some shit like, yay, I would have just like, yeah, this dude's being too extra for no fucking reason. Yo.
I mean, yeah, that he already sounded zesty. Yeah, he sounded zesty. Plus the fact that he was already, you know, riding his fucking his trainer like he was like taking his horse to the Old Town Road shit. Like.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, damn, like I mean, he jumped into Canelo's arms too. Like, you know, it was like, chill out, bro. Like, you know,
yo, they passed that nigga on like a blunt, yo. Like, but he be getting run, like they be running trades on him.
Yeah, but he's a kid though. I mean, he's you know, like he needs to calm down. But what was fucked up though when he was like asking that, you hear the crowd saying Tank, and you see Devin Haney over there. It's like, oh yeah, I'll face Devin Haney too. You know, and then
Devin Haney was like the bag of chips you forgot to order with your sub. He was like, yeah, I want a roast beef with Swiss. No, make that provolone. Yeah, lettuce, tomatoes, and you know, I get the cookies, and yeah, let me get a Dr. Pepper, and then you know, oh yeah, I'll take some barbecue chips.
Yeah,
I'll fight Devin Haney if I can't get this Tank fight.
Yeah,
that everybody wants.
Yeah, and you see Devin Haney, he's over here looking hurt. I'm like, damn, like no one is putting respect on yo. Yeah, no one's putting respect on that man, on that young man's name. Like, you know, it's like, damn, like. You know, he's there in the crowd though. Like, I mean, honestly, if I was Haney, I would have gotten my Floyd check. He's been around Floyd since he was a kid. I know he has it in him to be like that. You know,
he too humble, man. He too humble.
Yeah, his father was with him. His father should have been out there wilding. You know, Bill Haney, he was there.
Then it was just turned into some street shit.
Facts. You know, but yeah, it was like, you know, it's like, damn, you know, like the Tank. I mean, Tank is on everyone's like Tank Garcia, like this.
Because everybody's remembering Uppercut season and that Leo Santa Cruz, you know, fight.
Yeah,
which was a good fight.
Yeah, PBC's best fight of the year. Imagine.
So I mean, you know, Tank got the juice. Teofimo Lopez got the juice. Devin Haney, he needs to go get some juice. It is what it is. Like,
oh shit, nigga.
It's fucked up. They booed him because I don't think he needed to get booed.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not his fault that, you know, he's looking for the same juice that, you know, everybody else is, but yet there's like, oh, you know, we got no more juice left. Here's some quarter water.
He need to get that Fortuna fight as fast as possible and prove to people that he could beat somebody with some talent who's a threat. Because right now, him and Shakur Stevenson look the most talented, look the most skilled, but they got the least amount of clout and reputable opponents and performances.
Yeah, and that's the part.
Part of that is not Haney's fault, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, whose fault is it?
He has he was the mandatory, and they pulled this fucking bullshit with him. But now it gives people the chance to avoid him.
Yeah,
but there's still other quality guys he could fight. You know,
he wanted to fight. He wanted to fight Fortuna, but then Fortuna wanted to fight Campbell, or like they were playing games. He wanted to fight Campbell before Loma fucking fought Campbell. It was just always
okay. He's been unlucky, but there's no agenda to not fight this dude.
They don't need to fight.
I mean, right now, obviously Garcia has an interim title, which of course now the WBC has its bullshit with 135, where the lineal champion has the damn franchise belt. and then we have Haney, who is the real WBC champion.
And that's the other thing. That's the other thing that fucks him over, because the whole WBC thing, even though the belt that he has is legitimate, he's not looked at as the real champ, because fucking Teofimo's looked at as the real champ, even if he doesn't have the actual belt.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he won his belt twice via email, which is wild.
Once Teofimo, and then add to the fact that Teofimo's still he's still bouncing around. He's still technically at 135, even though he's gonna move to 140 soon. So he hasn't dropped any belts. So, but as long as he's still entertaining the thought of fighting at 135, he's still looked at as the champion at 135, whether he has the belt or not. So it's definitely
Haney still gotta fight somebody outside of those guys. If the Fortuna fight don't happen, okay, what about Linares? What about somebody else? Like, at the end of the day, he has to make a decent fight right now.
I mean, right now, the decent fight, and I think the WBC is trying to make it fun, because WBC...
They ordered it. They ordered Garcia and Haney.
Yeah, because the WBC ordered 2 mandatories for him. Brian Garcia and Fortuna. Those are his mandatories.
But the Garcia takes precedent over the Fortuna mandatory.
Yeah, but no. So you may as well just go into the damn poll topic right now.